I will not lie. That was an unexpected hit. And I think I had just been getting so many unexpected hits already in the game. Like I never thought I would be the bottom. Like, you know what I mean? I was like,
No. When she's like a BB moment, which is like a beautiful black moment. Did we get any of those in this episode?
Black.
We have a chaotic vibe moment of the
Chaotic vibe moment. And you're watching Black by Reality.
Black by Baddies.
And those who love us.
Hello, Katurah. I'm Nicole from Black
"Bye, Nicole."
Reality. I'm so excited to speak with you. How are you doing today?
I am doing really well, shockingly well. And I'm so excited to speak with you. I think you guys are the first Black podcast I've talked to all morning.
Oh,
So,
that's incredible.
yes.
And it's Black and queer. So,
Oh, even better. You speak in my language. Yes, my people.
my first question is I was so hyped about the Black queer representation in this season with you and Sophia.
Yeah.
Not everyone's full identities was shown. There were some queer fans who were disappointed that they didn't get to see Kelly talk about her queerness. So I just wanted to ask, how does it feel to be able to represent and I think be fully represented? Your story was so, I think, well told. Maybe you feel differently.
No, I absolutely agree. And excuse me, my voice is going through some things. But no, I mean, it was huge. Are you kidding me? And like, I'm a Black queer girl on Survivor, and I'm like shown, and I'm like, I didn't want to hide any of that. Like, as you know, I was hiding a few things, my age, my profession, but I was like, this, I wanted to be so unapologetically clear about. And I felt so awesome to be able to represent. And then when I found out Sabaya was also queer and a Black woman, I was like, oh my God. And then, of course, the way Survivor Gods just gut punch me. I literally never got to see her in the game ever, ever. Like we never talked.
I know, like my dream tribe right there. If only, if only.
Oh, if only is deep. I got a lot of if onlys.
The finale was a good one, full of emotional moments. People were tweeting that they were crying when Julie and Jake were both saying, like, you should go to law school, become a lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it feel that they believed in you so much, thinking you were like this young kid who is not in law?
Yeah, honestly, it's probably one of my most touching moments from the game. Like, I love Jake and Julie as individuals, but like the moments that we shared together talking about that, with them both being lawyers, and Jake being a different type of lawyer than he said, that meant everything to me because you know I went into Survivor knowing I was going to lie about my profession, a lot based on statistics. I was like, Black girls do not win Survivor, only 2 in 44 seasons, right? Like, and one was season 4, and then the next one didn't come into the 40s, right? So I'm like, you're not gonna win being this big flashy person. You've got to be the one that they like almost underestimate so much that then they're like, oh shoot, you at the end, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened with Vecepia and Marianne. So I already knew I was gonna downgrade, downplay myself. But a part of me also was like, what will people think of me if I don't have these accolades to, boost me up? When I walk in spaces right now, I'm attorney Katurah at a big civil rights law firm, and these prestigious law schools underneath my name. Like, what does that mean if I don't have it? Who am I without it? And they saw me without it, and they still said you should go to law school, and that meant everything to me because it took me back to being that young girl who had never known anybody in my entire life who's ever gone to law school. And I just had this crazy idea, like, I'm going to do it. And so it almost gave her some encouragement to be like, even if you didn't have it, you always had it,
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense.
it does. One of my questions is that lawyers aren't always great at getting the truth because a lot of people tend to try to hide it from them. But you seem to have the knack of getting people to talk to you. You're always on the right side of the votes. So, what do you credit that aspect of yourself to?
Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, it's not like the best, sweet, nicest, rosy answer, but it's really just having to know that and be on alert and in survival mode my entire life. I mean, you guys got a little, like a tiny snippet of what my background is like. And there's no way to sugarcoat it. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff. Like, I've been in some horrific situations. And I've learned to quickly develop that instinct. You need to be able to talk to anybody. I can talk to anybody. You
Mhm.
need to be able to connect with any person. You need to be able to see if something's going on, if somebody's feeling shady to you, if there's an underlying issue. And I felt that that's what Survivor is. Like, that's why I applied. I was like, I do this every day. Like, let me just go do it on the show. And now we're coming on the heels of like, okay, maybe my fight or flight kicked in at moments it didn't need to kick in, but I still feel that I wouldn't have even got that far in the game if I hadn't been able to do that little navigation and maneuvering.
Got it. I mean, we can talk about that a little bit. You did have a heartbreaking moment when you got a letter from home.
Yeah.
To be honest, I knew I related to that a lot because that's kind of like my story. I actually had to skip that episode and
Oh, yeah.
hear. So, my question to you is just for me, if that would have happened to me, I would have been on my back for days to get back into it. So, how did you turn around and get your head back into the game?
It was extremely hard. It was extreme. I mean, I will not lie. That was an unexpected hit. And I think I had just been getting so many unexpected hits already in the game. Like, I never thought I would be the bottom. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm Katurah. I can like be nice in the middle. Like, I thought I was going to make myself be lower. Not that they would be like, oh, you want to be valueless? Cool. We'll like, easily dispose of you. So I felt already very invisible and alone and excluded and kind of like, not seen as valuable. And
Mhm.
then having this moment where I was like, okay, I'm going to get this reward that's going to feed me, that's going to nourish me, right? Like, even though I flipped over to Reba and I credit D, Julie, and Austin's kindness for me being able to even make it that far because I was at the end of like, social human connections before I met them.
Mhm.
um, I was still knew that they were in their own alliance. So I still was like, all right, you're still not their number one, right?
Right.
So feeling so alone and then being like, the letters are gonna like bring me right back. And then it was just like, and boom, Survivor Universe gods. They were like, nope, not today. I cried that entire night at the sanctuary. I didn't sleep at all. Like, I had the letters. I wasn't even going to share it with the girls that were there, but it was so shockingly harmful.
Yeah.
Like, I never had that feeling in my life. And I stayed up all night crying after that. I literally slept about like less than an hour, maybe 30, 40 minutes. And we got beds. We got beds. It was the first, and I kept being like, you got a bed, you got pillows, like you should be taking this in, nourish this. And I just stayed up all night crying. And I think that's what led to the panic attack the next morning.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask because everyone else had their theories. And again, I didn't watch, but I was like, absolutely, absolutely, they would be related because that's what would happen to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was that experience like watching that back? And
Oh, terrible to watch. And the crazy thing, but I will say that's what's been so awesome is about this whole Survivor experience is the public and the fans. I mean, sometimes they don't like me and they let me know, but honestly, I'm so grateful for people's reaction because I did not know that was a panic attack. In
Mhm.
the moment, I just felt I don't know what's happening. I kept saying that to Jeff. I was like, I literally don't know what's going on with my body.
Yeah.
The way I have lived last 30 years is you be stressed, you be scared, you be in the terriblest of situations, and you make your mind up to do it, and you tell your body to do it, and it executes.
Mhm.
And that's been my Katurah method. That's what's got me here. That's how I can stand up and say, I'm a lawyer. I do this. I live here. And
Yeah.
so to be like, do it, body, go. And it's like, no. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh,
Terrible.
oh, I'm
But
so.
it made me realize I'm a human, and I think I needed that lesson. Like, I didn't even know I needed that lesson, but I
Mhm.
have been so much like you can be in the most terrible situations, and I have been, and still push through. And so I kept telling myself before the game, I was like, just do it one more time. Just do it for 26 days. You've been doing it for 30 something years. You got it. Just do it for 26 days. No matter what, hold it in. Shrink yourself down to this low digestible format so people don't feel threatened by you. And it still happened. And then just get this money and then you can rest. And that's what I wanted. I just wanted to get the money and rest. And yeah, I guess I'll still be working.
Well, I'm sure you'll have so many more opportunities after this. But yeah, everything that you say like rings true as a Black woman.
Yeah.
Just having to really push through because there's always something else you have to
Yep.
survive
Yep.
or through. And so it feels exhausting. It's exhausting to also
Yeah.
watch and experience, but I just want to say like just thank you. Thank you for for trying and just still showing, Black women are human and we need a goddamn rest.
Yeah, exactly. And we do. And the bigger thing I also take away from it is we need to force ourselves to rest sometimes. Like we think we have to keep going, and a lot of times we do, but like your body will stop at some, like if you don't take the rest yourself, your body and your spirit will say, guess what? I'm taking it now. When you least expect it, it's going to be like, we're not doing anything.
Mhm.
Ideally, it's not when you're dangling on a board over the ocean, but playing for $1 million. But yeah.
you know, um, okay, for a lighter note, you had the queer nightmare of the third wheel on this hetero date on a dirty beach. No one had showered. Um, how did it feel of like, oh, I finally get a reward and this is the company I have?
Honestly, it was kind of hilarious because it was getting more and more apparent. Like Dee and Austin did a fantastic job of keeping that under wraps. And I honestly think for them, it was developing. Like they also didn't know it was going to get the way it eventually got. So when we first got on that helicopter, I was actually thinking I would sit in the middle. Like that's how like far off it was. And then Dee was like, no, 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 I'll sit in the middle. And I was like, okay. And then they were sitting really close, and I was like, oh, got it. But I I'm telling you, like I already credited Dee and Austin and Julie with just giving me such kindness and like really giving me the first opportunity I felt in the game to like play. Like they talked to me, they like strategized with me, they like included me, and I was like, I love them. Like they're deeply, deeply kind people. There are moments where I was like, they're gonna figure out I'm old because I kept looking at Austin being like, oh my God, a mother. If I were your mother, I'd be so proud of you because you're so kind. Like that's how loving of people they were. So I wasn't really bothered. I was like, do what you need to do. Like I got my mind on this. Like I knew I wasn't about to get in the show, man. So yeah, it was okay.
All right, my last question for you, because
Yeah.
I have an answer. Everyone probably has an answer, but just in case there's a new heroes versus villains in this new era, would you
Speak it.
would you argue if you're a villain or a hero?
Ooh, I didn't expect this question. I hope I'm not a villain.
Really?
A little
I think
bit.
you're
I
I
don't
think
know. I wouldn't mind being a villain. I mean, I don't know. I
yeah.
think the answer is I've learned I'm a multifaceted individual, and I probably have a little bit of both.
Yeah, obviously, love you. Hope to speak to you again. But I'm just like the flipping on Jake after he has to swear on his Nana. You wanted Bruce out at all cost. It was
Yeah.
a little villain, a villain with like a heart. I would root for
Yeah. And I like that. I'm fine with that. If they say Katurah, villain with the heart, I'll take it.
them. All right. I hope you have a good day. I am so thankful for our time together.
It's so good to speak with you. Seriously. I'm so glad.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good day. Bye.